to any successful program in the DepEd are the teachers. So I said we have to take care of the teachers. We have to even of course financial to make sure that they can feed their families kasi
Yan ang pahayag ng Pangulong Marcos sa kanyang interview na nangyari sa Sulu sa kanyang pagbisita sa lalawigan ngayong araw. Ito na kaya ang hinihintay ng mga guro na magkakaroon ng increase sa kanilang salary, pero hindi pa po ito kasiguraduhan dahil ito ay isa lamang manifest na susuportahan ng Pangulo kung magkakaroon ng increase. Ano sa tingin ninyo mga teachers? Ito na kaya o hindi? Pero bago ang paksang yan, pinag-usapan din ng Pangulong Marcos during that interview ang mga iba't ibang issue na tungkol sa DepEd. Halimbawa na lang ang curriculum sa K-12, ang employability ng mga graduates, kasi may maraming kumpanya na hindi pa rin tumatanggap ng mga K-12 graduates. Yung about sa mga kindergarten, sa mga elementary students, sa kanilang stunting problem, at marami pang iba. Kaya pakinggan muna natin si Pangulong Marcos sa naturang interview.
Maybe a little bit because the last time I spoke to him, just after we announced that he was going to be the next Secretary of DepEd, nag-usap kami, and there are two elements that we paid attention to specifically. Number one was ginawa natin yung K-12 dahil hinahanap ang years of training sa ating mga nag-a-apply. At sinasabi dito sa Pilipinas kulang dahil 10 years. Okay, so that was the reason we did it para employable yung mga graduate natin. Pero kung titignan natin ang naging resulta, hindi tumaas, hindi gumanda ang employability nila. So we have to do something else. Kaya we were examining things like mini courses, yung mga 3 buwan, 6 na buwan, 1 year short courses para sa mga specialty. But we have to coordinate with the private sector so that the private sector will have also be able to have a guaranteed supply of skilled workers that will be coming into their own industries. So yung ganong klaseng coordination ay importante dahil kung minsan pero wala naman trabaho pa rin. So tinitiyak namin na paglabas na may magandang pag-asa, magandang magkatrabaho, if not directly already to an industry employer. The second part that we are looking at, of course, are the results in the international objective test that we are getting, especially in the STEM subjects, because that's where we are falling behind, and that is the area that is most in demand right now because we're getting more and more technical. Kaya yun ang mga namin. But Senator Angara, that the key to any successful program in the DepEd are the teachers. So I said we have to take care of the teachers. We have to even of course financial to make sure that they can feed their families. Kasi we tend to forget sometimes that teachers have families. We see them just as teachers. They have families and they have to take care of their families. And they cannot teach properly kung inaalala nila yung lagay ng pamilya nila. So we have to make sure that they are in a good place so that the teachers can concentrate on actual teaching. The other part of it is non-financial, is the retraining. Because ang bilis, we all know, ang bilis ng development lalo na sa technology na within 1 year obsolete na within 2 years obsolete na, kaya turuan natin ulit. So that's what we will do. We will beef up that part of it. And then we are beefing up also the feeding program kasi yung stunting problema pa rin sa mga eskwela natin, sa estudyante natin. So the DepEd has so many aspects to it. The one thing I asked of him was to please teach our children Philippine history, because I have seen my children's workbooks and there's very little said about the history of the Philippines, and that is so, for me, that is so important for the simple reason that that is what dito, kaya ganito kami, kaya ganyan ang ugali namin dahil sa aming kasaysayan. And that's the one thing that I asked of him. That's in the curriculum. We will also simplify the curriculum. That it is we go back to make sure that everybody understands the basics, because marami pang hindi nasa grade 5 na, nasa grade 6 na, mahina pang basa, mabagal. So that's at saka yung mga simple na mathematics na exam hindi nila kayang gawin. So yun ang kailangan talaga, basics. We have to go back to basics. Great deal more, but I could talk about this for a long time. But that's those are the highlights of what we spoke about.
Sa interview na yun, maraming nasabi si PBBM tungkol sa mga issue na nasa DepEd o kinakaharap ngayon ng DepEd. On my notes, meron tayong 7. Number 1, employability ng K-12 graduates. Tama ba ang nasabi ni PBBM na yung mga K-12 graduates ay hindi pa rin matanggap-tanggap ng mga kumpanya dahil kulang na mga trainings, etc. So kaya si PBBM at saka with the new secretary, gagawa daw sila ng mga mini courses. Okay? So siguro pwede naman yung gagawin ng TESDA, di ba? TESDA is more specialized on that, di ba? So anyway, pangalawa is about the results sa PISA. Kasi ito namang PISA talaga, ito ay isang international standard na we are lagging behind, especially daw sa STEM, Science and Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. There are a lot of things na dapat i-consider dito kung bakit nagkaganito. Number 1 is we don't have enough textbooks, di ba? That's the reality. Yung mga aklat, wala nga mga silid-aralan, wala ding mga laboratory, ang mga public schools. How can we expect na magkakaroon tayo ng mga magandang resulta sa STEM? Even teachers are not teaching their specialized subject. Or meron naman mga teachers na specialized subjects, wala ding passion sa pagtuturo, di ba? So there are a lot of things to be considered. Alam nga nila pero papasok naman lang sa classroom, o di ba, late. Tapos mag-absent pa. So ganon. So this is a very big issue, paano tayo aangat sa score natin sa PISA, especially on STEM, di ba? Facilities wise, ethics of teachers, trainings ng teachers, upscaling ng teachers, lot of things to consider para ma-attain natin to, because we cannot give what we do not have. Di ba? Kapag hindi masuportahan ang training ng mga teachers, walang professional growth and development, paano ba makakope up, lalong-lalo na yung mga nasa probinsya, nasa laylayan ng lipunan, di ba? Classroom nga, wala. Laboratory pa kaya? O mga gamit pa kaya? Something like that. The number 3, yung pinaka-asam-asam ng mga teachers is yung salary. So PBBM said na we have to take care of our teachers, financial, as well as the training, na pera para to feed their families, para maka-teach ng maayos. And I guess that would be very good. So, ito na ba teachers ang hinahanap niyo? Kasi salary increase na ba to? Let's wait on that. Kasi magsusona naman siya at the end of this month. Then, number 4 is the retraining ng teachers. Personally, I agree with this kasi talaga yung mga teachers today, kapag mag-training na lang, kapag hindi ka malapit doon sa principal, hindi ka rin ipadala. Yan naman talaga siguro ang tuto, di ba? Yung mga reklamo ng mga teachers ay gano'n, no? Kapag may training, yun ding mga ka-close lang ay ipapadala. Pagkatapos, hindi naman magre-re-echo whatsoever. Ito, retraining is very important. At saka, kapag gusto natin talaga ng magandang resulta doon sa ating PISA, professional ethics ng teachers, support training, professional growth, at saka quality school leaders. That's very important, no? Yung quality school leaders. Kasi meron ding mga school heads na, okay. Next is the number 5 is teach kids with the Philippine history. Wala naman sigurong problema doon sa Philippine history. Kung alam lang ng Pangulo kapag nagbabasa siya ng curriculum ng Araling Panlipunan, if I'm not mistaken, ano to itong Philippine history is napakataas ito. This is from grade 5 to grade 6 na curriculum. I do not know if the Araling Panlipunan teachers will agree with me na ang Philippine history is grade 5 to grade 6. Kaso lang, again, ito din ang dapat ng mga school head na tinuturo ba ng maayos? Oo. Yung mga teachers ba sa classroom is nagtuturo talaga? Oo, pumapasok ba ng tamang oras? O, di ba? Ganon. One thing din yan. The other thing is, may mga aklat ba? O, di ba? I know, Philippine history, 2 taon ito na tinuturo sa elementary. So, I can, if I'm not mistaken, talagang mahaba. You see, 2 years yan nasa elementary. Tingnan nyo, if just let me know kapag mali ako. Oo. So, wala. I guess PBBM, hindi siya masyadong kabisado dun sa curriculum ng Araling Panlipunan. Mm. Or baka meron siyang gustong ipaturo sa Philippine history. O, di ba? Sabi na nga ng iba na yung revised ba daw o original. So, hindi natin alam yan or other perspective ng history ang gusto niyang mangyari. Basta sa pagkakaalam ko, grade 5, grade 6, grade 5 at saka grade 6 Philippine history yan. Just try to see sa K to 12 na curriculum. Next, let's have also number 6, the feeding program. Oo, na maraming mga bata pa din sa elementary na stunt, no? Yung pag-ano nila, pag ang growth nila is kulang pa rin. Of course, it will affect their performance in school. So, okay, that's good. Sana ang budget ng feeding program ay hindi mapunta lamang sa kamay ng mga di ba? Ang laki ng mga uh, budget nito. Then the seventh on my note, the last one is the back to basics daw. Yung reading, I agree naman with PBBM, with reading, writing, arithmetic, mga yung 3 hours na basics. Kaya I agree with PBBM na grade 5 na, hindi pa rin marunong magbasa or mahina ang pagbasa, hindi marunong mag basic calculation, something like that. So, yeah, I agree with that. Even siguro naman high school, o di ba, sa experience sa college, merong mga bata na nagpupunta sa college na hindi pa rin marunong magbasa, 'di ba? Hindi pa masyadong yung pagbabasa nila. So, wala. Importante to back to basics, 'di ba? Kung ano pang ipinapagawa ng ibang mga teachers. So, paturuin nila yung mga teachers na sana din, one of the things na dapat siguro ng DepEd Secretary today is ito. Kapag hindi talaga marunong magbasa at saka they have to repeat, no? Yun bang yung mga teachers na bigyan ng laya kung ano ang kanilang assessment, o, di ba? So, sa bata, hindi yung ipapasa na lang para lalaki yung PBB, o ipapasa na lang para lalaki yung rating sa OPCRF ng school head, o mga self-serving motives. Di ba? Or yung mga teachers kahit na hindi karapat dapat ipasa, pero ipinapasa pa rin dahil at the end of the year, sila naman lang din ang magre-remedial class. So, bakit ako mag-remedial class during summer kung pwede naman lang bigyan ng 75? So, yan. So, yung mga report na hinihingi from teachers, na mga teachers ay nag-i-invento din, which is very unethical din, or even with the consent of the school heads, na, of course, something like that na mag-iimbento na lang ng mga data kasi ito ang gusto na marinig yung nasa taas, dapat I suggest na yung mga administrators, they have to go back to field, talk to the teachers na walang judgment. Oo, di ba? Kasi ang fear ng mga teachers is ganito. Kapag, okay, kapag in your classroom, may example, halimbawa, merong hindi marunong magbasa o bumagsak, di ba sabi no, ano ba yung ginagawa mo? Ano ba yung it's like the fault of the teachers. Where in fact naman, may mga estudyante talaga na hindi pumapasok, hindi nagbibigay ng performance task. So, then, ibabagsak ni teacher, siya pa ang questionin kahit na ibibisita, whatsoever. O, di ba? So, support the teachers. O yung mga school administrators, do not expect too much, no? Oo, na maapektuhan yung OPCRF ninyo para malaki yung rating ninyo kasi malaki yung bonus, something like that. It's not like that. Talk to the teachers, ask them without judgment, and they will tell you the truth. Then you can come up with the right diagnosis, with the right solution to the problem. Kasi kapag hingi lang kayo ng data na hindi naman totoo, you cannot solve the education crisis of the Philippines. Okay? So again, ito, to the administrators, etc. Kapag hihingi at saka hihingi na lang kayo ng mga data from the field because you're expecting this much. Kasi may mga supervisors na mga galit kapag mababa whatsoever. If you will continue to ask for fake data, you cannot solve the education problem in the Philippines. Alright? So yan lang. Mabuhay. At saka sa lahat ng mga teachers, good luck. Kung magkakaroon ba ng increase, okay? O sana naman natapos na yung study ng DBM kasi sabi nila at by the end of June, ano na tayo today? July 5. Kung meron na ba yung study kung magkano at paano nila mas mapaganda o ma-increase or kailangan ba ng increase ng salary ng government workers. So, ayan. So, magandang araw sa lahat. Thank you.